Hello everyone, and welcome back to History of the Ancient World. Today, we're journeying back in time, not to the familiar lands of Egypt or Mesopotamia, but to the rugged highlands of Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. This was the heartland of a civilization that rose to become one of the three great superpowers of the Late Bronze Age, the mighty Hittite Empire. You've probably heard of the Egyptians and the Babylonians, but the Hittites? For a long time, they were little more than a name mentioned in ancient texts, a historical ghost. But thanks to archaeology, we've resurrected their story, and it's a tale of innovation, conquest, and diplomacy that will completely change how you see the ancient world. So grab your virtual pickaxe, because we're about to unearth the secrets of the Hittites. Our story begins around 1650 BC. A king named Hattusili I establishes his capital at a formidable rocky citadel called Hattusa. This wasn't just a city, it was a fortress, a statement of power. From this base, Hattusili and his successors began a campaign of expansion. They were a people of iron will, and soon they would be a people of actual iron. While other civilizations were still primarily using bronze, the Hittites were among the pioneers of ironworking. This gave them a massive technological edge. Imagine being a soldier facing an army with weapons that are harder, sharper, and more durable than anything you've ever seen. That was the reality for the Hittites' enemies. Their iron chariots and weapons were the cutting-edge military tech of their day, allowing them to carve out a vast empire that stretched from the Aegean coast all the way to the Euphrates River in Syria. But the Hittites weren't just brute conquerors, they were also master politicians and legal innovators. They developed one of the most sophisticated legal systems of the ancient world. Unlike the eye for an eye code of Hammurabi in Babylon, Hittite law often favored restitution over retribution. If you stole a cow, you didn't lose your hand. You had to pay back its value, often with a hefty fine. This focus on compensation and fairness shows a remarkably advanced and pragmatic approach to justice, designed to keep society stable rather than just punish offenders. The peak of Hittite power came under rulers like Suppiluliuma I, a brilliant military strategist and diplomat who outmaneuvered the Egyptian pharaohs and expanded the empire to its greatest extent. But the most famous moment in Hittite history is undoubtedly the Battle of Kadesh, fought around 1274 BC. This was an epic clash of titans. On one side, the Hittite king Muwatalli II with thousands of chariots. On the other, the young and ambitious Egyptian pharaoh Ramesses II leading his own massive army. It was one of the largest chariot battles ever fought. Both sides claimed victory in their own records, a classic case of ancient propaganda. Ramesses covered the temples of Egypt with reliefs of his supposed triumph, while Hittite records tell a different story of an Egyptian retreat. What really matters, though, is what happened after the battle. Realizing that endless war would only weaken them both, the Hittites and Egyptians did something revolutionary. They negotiated the world's first known surviving international peace treaty. A copy of this treaty, the Treaty of Kadesh, is even displayed at the United Nations headquarters in New York today. As a symbol of early diplomacy, it wasn't just a ceasefire. It was a comprehensive pact of non-aggression and mutual defense, promising to support each other against outside threats. It stabilized the entire region for decades. The Hittite pantheon was just as complex as their politics, known as the Thousand Gods of Hatti. They were brilliant at cultural absorption. When they conquered a new people, they didn't just take their land. They often adopted their gods into the official state religion. This created a fascinating and diverse spiritual landscape, with storm gods, sun goddesses, and local deities from all over the empire, all worshipped at the great temples of Hattusa. Their most important deity was the storm god of Hatti, who controlled the thunder, lightning, and rain essential for their survival in the Anatolian highlands. So, what happened to this great empire? Like many Bronze Age civilizations, the Hittite Empire collapsed around 1200 BC. The exact cause is still debated by historians. It was likely a perfect storm of factors: internal rebellions, crop failures, and famine, and invasions from mysterious groups known as the Sea Peoples, who swept across the eastern Mediterranean, toppling kingdoms in their wake. The great capital of Hattusa was burned and abandoned, and the Hittite Empire fragmented, vanishing from the world stage. For thousands of years, their memory faded, their language of cuneiform tablets unreadable. But in the early 20th century, archaeologists rediscovered the ruins of Hattusa and unearthed its vast royal archives. When scholars finally deciphered the Hittite language, a whole new chapter of ancient history was opened. We learned about their kings, their laws, their gods, and their daily lives. We learned that they weren't just a footnote in someone else's story. They were a major power that shaped the course of the ancient world. The Hittites teach us that history is full of hidden giants. They were masters of war, pioneers of law and diplomacy, and creators of a unique, multicultural empire. Their story is a powerful reminder that there is always more to discover beneath the surface, and that our understanding of the past is constantly evolving. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the Hittite Empire. If you enjoyed this exploration and want to uncover more lost civilizations, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to History of the Ancient World, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let us know in the comments which ancient civilization you'd like to see us cover next. Until then, keep exploring,